Live, Laugh, Larceny discusses true petty crimes that may be disturbing to some.
Or could be easy listening to all you psychopaths out there.
All stories are based on actual events, but details may vary.
Listener discretion is not advised.
Live,
Laugh.
Larceny. Welcome to Live, Laugh, Larceny, your best friend's podcast recommendation that you refuse to listen to. This is Trevin.
And I'm Amanda. I wonder how accurate that truly is.
I feel like it's probably pretty accurate. I mean, I don't know what it is about me, but when somebody says, hey, you should really check this out, it's almost like, oh, no, you asked me to. Probably won't.
You stubborn little shit.
I know, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people like me with that, and it's wrong. It's totally wrong, and I'm doing the wrong thing.
Stop doing that.
But, you know, a lot of shows will ask their listeners of this, and we haven't done this. We don't say it in the outro or anything. But you know what? Tell a friend. Tell a friend about what we're doing.
And maybe don't phrase it like, hey, you should listen to Live, Laugh, Larceny. Maybe you could just be like, I was listening to Live, Laugh, Larceny the other day. You wouldn't understand. You don't listen to it, so maybe like be rude to your friend a little bit, and then maybe your friend will actually listen. Do you think?
Yeah, like your friend's just like, oh no, I'm so sad that I lost all my money in bad gambling, and just be like, oh, sorry, I was just thinking about this funny thing Trevor and Amanda said. And then if they're like, maybe that'll be the thing that turns my life around. And then we can add one more to our army.
Oh my God. Yeah, be a little bit of a dick to your friends. See how it works.
Yeah, just a thought if you guys are into it.
Oh my God, I love this. So anyway, Trevin, what is your dreadful dilemma this week?
So I've got a dilemma, and I've had this dilemma before to a certain extent, but I'm dealing with beginning of the new year. I'm trying to work off that holiday weight. Mm-hmm. And man, I tell you, it is so easy to gain weight. I know. I can take one Christmas break and come back 15 pounds heavier. It's amazing. And I've had my eating disorder struggles and my discovery with that. So I'm finding different things that are working for me. I'm realizing that I'm not sleeping good, so I'm taking melatonin before bed, and that's actually been helping a ton. And I'm working out more, which I'm putting on more muscle than I've ever done in my life. And what sucks the most about this is, I don't think I've talked about this yet on the show, but I'm going through this awkward phase where I'm gaining muscle. Uh-huh. I'm not really burning the fat yet. So almost all of my shirts are just getting a little too tight for me. And it's really, really hard to be a human being with body dysmorphia issues and to be like, every shirt fits tight. A lot of shirts aren't fitting super well. And that's not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. And it's really hard for me to tell myself my chest is filling out more and everything else. And then I haven't really lost enough of the midsection yet, but it'll come because the muscle will start eating away. And it's just like, ooh, but the shirts are tight. That means it's like I have to give myself a pep talk every time because I'm like, no, it's not because you're getting fat. It's because you're muscle and you're fat. Yeah. You're very strong. So I'm working through that, but with all of this, I've started getting this weird issue where the outside of my right thigh goes numb. It's numb and I'll lose sensation in it.
That is not good.
No, and sometimes it will kind of burn when the sensation's kind of coming back. It's an odd thing.
What the hell, Trevin? Have you talked to a doctor?
I haven't. I've looked it up.
Oh my God.
And it's a thing called meralgia paresthetica.
Okay.
And it's a thing where a nerve gets pinched.
Okay.
And it causes you to lose sensation on the outside of your thigh. And they say a lot of it is if you've gained weight and like your pants are kind of tight or like where your belt would normally be.
Oh.
But when I'm laying on my back in bed, I'll lose the sensation in it. So I think I might have pinched something when I've been doing like weird curtsy squats and stuff, just things where my legs are bent kind of funny. And I've always had a weird right hip. So it kind of makes sense that it would be pinching it.
Oh my God.
So it's another thing where it's just like, I really need to hopefully get that fixed because it's just really weird.
Yeah, from everything that I have heard and experienced, you kind of need both legs to walk properly.
Well, it's only the skin feeling on the outside.
Okay.
I can walk just fine.
Oh, so it's not like your muscle or anything burning. It's like your skin?
Yeah, it just feels like it's not there to the touch.
Okay, that's even weirder.
Yeah, I walk just fine.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, wow. That is very weird, and I've never heard of that before.
I hadn't either.
Killer fact all in one into
Yeah.
a dreadful dilemma. Thank you for the info.
Hey, you're
my
welcome.
God. Well, I hope your leg starts to gain some sensation back, Trevin. Very sorry.
It does when I roll over to my side or if I walk around a little bit.
Okay. Speaking of medical situations, I also have a dreadful dilemma. And you know all about it, so I'm not even going to pretend like you don't. But for our listeners, my dearest little baby, Winnie, the one that I named after Winnie Palmer's, the sweet tea and lemonade drink that I craved during my pregnancy. It's so sweet because I feel like a lot of our listeners that have listened to all of our old episodes, they kind of were like with me throughout that whole pregnancy. It's just kind of a cute little thing, Anyway, that was a weird little rant, but Winnie is now around 9 months. Can you believe that shit? First of all.
I cannot.
And, at that age, kids are very curious and they want to put everything in their mouths. And Winnie decided to put what we believe to be a Barbie shoe in her mouth the other night. We had a very scary situation where we had to call 911. And we thought she was like choking on this Barbie shoe. She was breathing the whole time. It's not like it got to that level of an emergency, but we couldn't get it out of her throat. It turned into a 5-hour emergency room waiting situation. There was x-rays done. There were tears. There was frustration. There was all sorts of things.
And you rode an ambulance.
Yes. So yeah, the ambulance ride from the time we got home, I think we were gone for like 5.5 hours. Long story short, Winnie was totally fine. They apparently think that she'll just pass the Barbie shoe. I still haven't seen it come out yet. I'm hoping it'll be a peaceful transition. But damn, little kids, I don't care if you are watching them. I'd say I'm maybe not a full-on helicopter parent, but I watch the shit out of this kid.
Oh, I imagine you probably do.
I keep eyes on the prize, right? And it was a brief second. And there wasn't even a bunch of stuff on the floor. It's wild and it's very dreadful that kids this age, if you turn your head for a moment, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Even if you prepare for them, they find a way around your plans.
My God. And for a tip for anyone listening, because I found this out through the ambulance ride that I took from the EMT, I was putting Winnie on her belly, on my knee, and her head was down, and I was, pushing on her back, giving her a little pat to get the toy out from her.
Baby Heimlich.
Yeah, like a little baby Heimlich. Well, apparently there's a 2-part thing that you should do. So you hit them on the back 5 times, flip them over so they're on their back and not their belly anymore. Take 2 fingers, push them on their chest 5 times just to get air to come out of their mouth. And you just repeat that process. 5 on their belly, 5 on their back, 5 on their belly, 5 on their back. I didn't know that other half of it. So, hey, there's a little tip.
Yeah, I would have never known it at all.
So, yeah, anyone out there who's around small children, I'm with you, man. It is a stressful time.
Yes, I can't even imagine a little breakable human, tiny.
So, exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thank you.
So, we are going to do a little round of 2 truths and a lie.
I've got 3 wires. Which one do I cut?
I'll give you 2 truths and a lie.
But wait, we don't have time for this. Yeah, and it is your week.
Okay, Trevin.
Yes.
So, today, my 2 truths and a lie all have to do with hair.
Oh, I have hair.
I do too.
Luscious hair, if you ask the TSFU podcast.
I know. When we were guests on her show, didn't she say, "Oh, I love your long and luscious hair," or something like that? And I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, she said, "I want to grow mine out to be as long as yours, but it'll never be as luscious."
I was like, "Okay, thanks." So yes, we both have hair. So let's see if you can spot the lie.
You got it.
Statement number 1. Although less thick hair, humans have 2 times the amount of hair follicles as apes. Statement 2. A major cause of dandruff is a fungus that thrives on greasy scalps. And number 3. In the 16th century, people used a concoction that included boiled slugs to restore hair loss.
Well, those are good. Oh no.
Those are good.
I'm just going to go wild and say that 2 is the lie.
And you're wrong, my friend.
Damn.
Number 1 is the lie. So humans do not have 2 times the amount of hair follicles as apes, but they do have approximately the same amount of hair follicles as apes. So I thought that too, because obviously apes, their hair is very long and whatever, but I also knew that we're not going on the thick or the length of the hair. I was just thinking of hair follicles, and we really do have them like all over.
Yeah, we have a lot of hair.
Yeah, and so I didn't know what that was, but yeah, apparently they are pretty much identical in the number of hair follicles that apes have. Statement number 2 is true. A major cause of dandruff is a fungus, and it is called Malassea globosa.
Okay.
That's probably said wrong. It pushes dead skin cells to the surface quicker than normal, which causes the dandruff.
I was thinking that it wasn't a fungus just because I always think of fungus as slimy and I think of dandruff as dry. So I was thinking that was wrong.
That makes sense that you would think that. I know, when I saw that fact, it was kind of weird to me as well. And then statement 3, of course, is also true. In the 16th century, a doctor couldn't find their name anywhere. I mean, I looked article after article after article. So this guy really, or gal, really needs their name shouted out somewhere. Like, come on, people.
Maybe they got canceled.
Maybe the boiled slugs just did them in. I don't know.
Hell, I wouldn't like it.
But this doctor claimed that applying a blend of boiled slugs, olive oil, honey saffron, soap, and cumin on the scalp could restore hair.
I wonder what that smelled like. It may not be too bad. Like, it would smell like honey tacos. I don't think that the slugs have a smell, but I'm sure the texture is yicky.
Honey tacos, sign me up. You know what? If I was losing my hair in the 16th century, or even maybe now, for God's sakes, I would try honey tacos on the head. I really would.
But honey taco slugs.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if I'd want to take it that far. I wonder if I could convince my husband Jordan to try it out, see if it'll make his hair grow.
You'd think that at this point there's probably some sort of an Amazon product that has those sluggish compounds.
Nothing like the boiled slugs, Trevin. That is the OG cure.
Dang. Was that you and I that was talking about why we don't see as much? No, I think that was at work. I work with a lot of bald people, and we were talking about how we don't see a lot of products for bald people as much anymore. Like, I know there's Hims commercials, but back in the 90s, we were flooded. You remember that with like all the hair implants and the hair plugs and just all the different things.
Yeah.
And I came up with a theory that I think it's just because our generation is kind of, in the 90s, I think all men were kind of like, we don't talk about this. It's a lack of something in your manness that why you don't have hair.
Right.
So it was a lot more, not that men don't still live in denial, but men were a lot more, denial was a lot different then. There's a lot more millennial men who are just like, that's life,
Right.
So I don't think it markets as well. Anyway, that was just a thought.
And also, my husband, when he was going through the whole alopecia situation, he met with a doctor that specializes in that. And well, first of all, alopecia is just so mysterious. And I mean, you can try a bunch of shit. Some of it'll work, some of it won't. His eventually all grew back in, and now he just has thinning hair. It's not alopecia anymore. But to get a hair, what is it called? Transplant or hair, whatever it is, that's like thousands and thousands of dollars. So I don't see many people in today's day being able to just make that happen.
If it was more in demand, I bet they would find more cost-effective things for it.
Oh, guaranteed.
But we're like, you can go to it if you want to.
Yeah, yep. That's a good point. So, Trevin, do you have 2 truths and a lie for me?
I do. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about otters.
Oh my God. That's my dad's favorite animal. Shout out, Dad.
Oh, well, your dad's going to love this segment.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you 2 truths and a lie about otters. And here we go. Statement 1. Many females do not survive their mating practices. Statement 2. Otters have been responsible for at least 10 documented human deaths since 2005. Or statement number 3. One particular species of otter has gained the nickname river wolves.
Wow. You know what? I'm going to go with statement 1 is the lie.
All right. And you have also lost.
Damn it! The women really don't survive? The females?
I was reading a lot about these little critters, and I like otters.
Yeah.
But apparently they're kind of bastards.
Oh my God.
That's what I was telling Emily about this, and she was like, do not tell this fact. They're sweet and they hold hands. And I was like, they bad.
You're going to get otters canceled, Trevin.
And that's what I told Emily. I said, I'm about to start the revolution of canceling otters.
Oh no, this is heartbreaking. Okay, go on.
So they will make love to their ladies and hold their heads underwater and sometimes drown them during the act. But they also will bite them in the nose really hard to kind of initiate. And sometimes if they don't die from the drowning, they die from the bite being so bad. And
you are fucking joking.
to make it even worse, the male otters will still finish the deed after they've been dead as well.
No! Oh my God.
I was also reading that male otters, they'll do like really weird manipulative things to get food. And so if there's a male otter who is lazy and doesn't want to go get food, he will go up to a female otter and take her kids and just start drowning them in the water until the woman brings them food. And if the woman brings them food, he's like, okay, you can have your kids back.
You are playing with me right now.
Nope, it's a real thing. Oh, the lie actually, I'm sorry guys, didn't even give you the answer first. The lie was that there are no human deaths.
Okay. Thank God for that.
Since I think it was 1980 or something, there's been 37 otter attacks on humans. And I think only one was fatal, but they didn't go into a lot of detail about it.
Okay.
But they have really sharp teeth and whatever, so they can attack people. It's usually people who are like swimming in their area. But there's also, in the Amazon, they're called giant otters or giant river otters, and they can go up to 75 pounds, and some have even been found to be as much as 6 feet long. And those have the nickname river wolves.
And are they vicious or are they chill?
I think they're vicious.
Oh, shit.
They kill a lot of other animals, and they actually really help the ecosystem.
You know what? I'm glad that they help something, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because all of the facts that you have just told me made me very sad.
Oh.
But thank goodness for the ecosystem saving, guys.
I meant to say also, they will forcibly mate baby seals as well, and sometimes kill them in the act as well. So
I can't.
love me some otters.
I cannot. So sorry, Dad. Oh my God, I'm so sorry for you hearing these facts in the hot tub in the morning.
Yeah, sorry, Papa Dennis.
Oh my God. I'm just going to be in shock the rest of the episode. There's just no getting around that.
Yeah, they're so cute and you love them. And I love seeing them. Every time I go to the Kansas City Zoo, they're the first thing you see.
Yeah.
But yeah, they bad.
Next time I go and look at them, I'm just going to have to give them a little finger wave. Like, I know.
Shame on you.
I know what you guys do. Oh my God, that's horrible. So, should we tell some ads, Trevin?
Let's talk ads.
Thank you to our newest sponsor, ZocDoc.
There's nothing worse than going to a doctor's appointment, expecting to be the center of attention, and then your doctor seems like they have better things to do.
I know I've personally experienced this. Instead of listening to you intently, asking how you feel, and helping you along, the doctor is checking the clock and going through a checklist.
On ZocDoc, you'll find quality doctors who focus on you, listen to you, and prioritize your care.
ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun.
No more doctor roulette or scouring the internet for questionable reviews. With ZocDoc, you have a trusted guide to connect you to your favorite doctor you haven't met yet.
Millions of people use ZocDoc's free app to find and book a doctor in their neighborhood who is patient-reviewed and fits their needs and schedule just right.
Go to ZocDoc.com/larceny and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours.
That's ZocDoc.com/larceny. ZocDoc.com/larceny. Bye.
See ya.
So are we ready for story time?
We are, and I'm excited to see what you brought this week.
Oh my, Trevin. I know I've maybe said a similar thing to this before of, oh, I'm about to tell a story in a way that I've never done, or this is going to be just, totally wild, or whatever I have said in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But let me just say this, okay? This is a story from the news, and it is so incredibly different than any story I've ever told before. You could almost say that it's out of this world. So be prepared for the unimaginable.
Okay, I don't even know what to prepare myself for.
And here we go. Have you ever experienced something that you just couldn't explain? Perhaps you've seen a mysterious and bright light outside your window, waking you up in the middle of the night. Or possibly, you've seen an unidentified flying object hovering above your grandmother's house. You may have even witnessed two people on opposite sides of political parties getting along.
I respect your ideas, and our differing opinions shouldn't come between our relationship as human beings.
Indubitably. Regardless of your own mysterious encounters, the story I'll be telling you all today is about one man's experience with the paranormal and the petty crime it made him commit. It was a cool Monday evening in Casper, Wyoming in 2017, as two people sat in a dimly lit interrogation room. On one side of the small table sat Officer Dickens, and on the other sat Bryant Johnson. The two could not be more different. Officer Dickens was a serious and logical woman with no patience for dumb criminals, while Bryant was a little more reckless and carefree. He also happened to be extremely intoxicated as he sat on the hard police station chair. You realize why we brought you in tonight, right? Officer Dickens asked flatly. Yeah, okay, I know how this looks, Bryant slurred. But I can explain. This is all a misunderstanding. Officer Dickens blinked, unfazed. Well, your story better be good. We got a call about a public disturbance at a bar downtown and found you heckling people. Our breathalyzer test showed that your blood alcohol level was at a .36. So let's hear how you can explain all that away. Well, I better start from the beginning then. It was a normal Monday evening. I was playing video games while enjoying my favorite snack. I had just beaten level 85 when there was a loud crash outside my apartment. I took off my headset and rushed over to the window. And sure as shit, something had crashed out there. Something large. There was a heavy fog with green laser light shooting out of it. I thought maybe my neighbor got high with his cat again. He does that a lot and plays with a laser light to get his cat all hyped and shit. I thought maybe the laser had accidentally caused a wreck or something. But that's when the fog began to clear, and I saw a fucking spaceship. A spaceship? Officer Dickens interrupted with a skeptical tone. Yes, and that's not even the craziest part, Bryant continued. It was like I was on a movie set. Right in front of my eyes was a crash-landed spaceship, I obviously ran outside, and the doors of the ship began to open. A silhouette of what looked to be that of a sexy lady was standing there in the open doorway. But when she stepped forward and into the street lights, I noticed she was not from around here. She had one large eye and bluish skin. But don't get it twisted, I was still attracted. Then she spoke in a voice that was both calm yet robotic. She said,
"Bryant, we have a job for you. You must go back in time and warn the human race of an alien invasion during the year 2018.
Wait, what year is it that you think you're from? Officer Dickens asked, almost slightly amused at this point. 2048, Bryant replied. The two stared at each other awkwardly before Bryant went on. So back to the hot alien. She said,
Bryant, we have a job for you. You must go back in time and warn the human race of an alien invasion during the year 2018. But you cannot time travel in your current state. You must fill your pathetic human body with booze. Then, and only then, can we transport you.
You see, I didn't want to get drunk on a Monday night, but I felt like this alien woman and I may have had a connection, and I didn't want to appear weak. So a group of aliens came out of the ship, filled my body with alcohol, and the next thing I know, I'm on a giant pad being blasted back in time. Now, I'm not sure why, but I ended up here in 2017 instead of 2018, so plenty of time to warn everyone. I went downtown and simply reassured everyone that I was here to help them prepare for an alien attack.
Grab your weapons and prepare for war!
There was a pause in the room until Officer Dickens exploded in years of pent-up laughter. Oh, wow. This is great. What would we do without your warning? Thank you for retelling your heroic tale. She finished laughing and exhaled. Now put your hands behind your back. The next stop on your travels is the drunk tank. On Monday, October 2nd, 2017, at 10:30 p.m., Casper, Wyoming police received a report of an intoxicated man saying he was from the future and he was there to help. When they located and breathalyzed Bryant Johnson, his blood alcohol content was a .136. He insisted that this was all a miscommunication, and he explained that the alcohol was needed for time traveling. Unfortunately, no one seemed to believe Bryant's story of aliens, time traveling, and booze. He was later arrested for public intoxication, and no alien attack ever occurred in the year 2018. Life is filled with many puzzling and unexplained experiences. I'm sure listening to this very story may be one of those times for you. None of us really know what other life forms exist and what their motivations may be. So keep your eyes towards the sky and keep your favorite chaser at the ready, because you never know if you'll be asked to travel through time and commit a crime.
Time crimes. Coming summer of 2024.
Oh my God, you need to be the voice on movie trailers, Trevin.
Oh, shucks.
So, okay, obviously I wrote this in a very different way than I ever do.
I like that.
You are more of the one that would tell a story more from like the first perspective when it's not you telling the story. But I wanted to try, a little whack at this. So before we jump into this, every single news article about this story was almost exactly word for word the exact same with very limited information. Surprise, surprise.
Right.
That's kind of how all these work, right? But usually there's some variety between the articles. There was none. I made up the character Officer Dickens,
So
obviously.
nobody with the last name Dickens existed?
No one with the last name
shoot.
Dickens. Officer Dickens was fabricated just to get him to retell the story from his perspective. Brian's description of the alien and his attraction obviously is made up. He didn't describe the aliens in any of the articles I could find. And then obviously all the events leading up to his encounter with the extraterrestrial. I don't know if he was playing video games or how the crash happened or how he even got involved with these creatures from space. But everything else is exactly what Bryant said happened. He was out at a bar. People called the cops because he was acting crazy and saying, I'm here to help. I'm here from the future. All this shit. And this is word for word what he told the police happened. He's from 2048. The aliens made him... Okay, no. They didn't even make him drink. He said they filled his body with booze. I know. I'm like, how did that happen? And they put him on a giant pad of sorts, and then he was teleported. He was supposed to go to 2018, somehow wound up in 2017, and he was supposed to warn everyone of an alien invasion.
But you were right in saying that one didn't happen. So
One didn't
I believe that
happen.
he may have succeeded.
Maybe he saved us all. You know what? Maybe.
And we're mocking him.
We're mocking him. We are mocking him. That's why I wanted to tell the story in this way. Because what if Bryant, poor guy, is really from the year 2048? And now he's just stuck, probably. I couldn't find any follow-up articles on the guy. I couldn't find any interviews from his friends and family. I need to know more.
It's as if he vanished after that day.
I know. So maybe they came back, filled his body with booze again, and then sent him back to 2048, and maybe the alien invasion was stopped.
Hey, I'm going to take this all as truth.
So we've never done a petty crime that had to do with extraterrestrials.
Correct.
Not to my memory, anyway. And before we go on to, I just want to show you this guy's mugshot real quick here. So this is the guy who saved us all.
It's a trustworthy dude.
So
Just a regular white guy.
just a regular old white guy with sad eyes.
He does look sad.
He looks really, really sad. And his nostrils are flared open. This guy has clearly been through some shit.
So what did you say his arrest was for? Just public intoxication? That's it?
That's it. Public intoxication.
You must have been a real bumbling ass to be publicly intoxicated and got in trouble at a bar.
I know.
Like if you didn't go to Walmart, you know what I mean? You're at a bar.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Like I said, all of these, I only found a little line in a sentence saying that like they found him downtown or whatever. I didn't get information on the name of the bar, what he was even saying. Like I know they said he was heckling people. I don't know. There's no quotes from people. Like I need so much more information.
Yeah, one firsthand account of what he was doing.
Yeah,
At
I know
least.
nothing. I just know everyone was making fun of him telling the officers all this details, but I don't know how we got here at all.
Damn. Well, I like your idea for it, and your very director sort of view of this story was fun. I like the character comes in and tells the story back. It's almost got kind of a How I Met Your Mother sort of vibe, and then your story keeps getting interrupted by the cop who's questioning it. And that's something we've never done before, so I do like that.
I know. I don't know if it'll translate well, but I had to do it. I thought about telling the story in just my normal way, and it just didn't sit well with me. So
I get that.
something new for the folks at home.
Yeah, we're trying new things. We're always keeping it fresh. We're not afraid to break boundaries. We don't want to just get stale for you guys.
Exactly. Did you just get an accent at the end?
Yeah, I was hoping you didn't notice that.
I don't want to get stale for you guys.
Stales for you guys.
Oh my God.
Oh, God. You got me.
I feel like we're all on drugs. And we're not. I'm on caffeine.
Speak for yourself. All right. Well, I enjoyed that. I think that'll be fun to throw together. I think we'll make it work.
Okay. God.
I think that'll be fun. I've got a story for you, and it's going to deal a little bit with something you and I were talking about before we started recording, but about, what if we had a lot of money?
Oh, God. Yes.
And I'm just going to manifest it right now. We're going to have a lot of money here very soon. We're going to blow up.
Hell yeah, we are.
We're going to be a household name.
Everyone's household will know us.
And then some of the jokes I make about rich people in here will be about us.
We're going to be them.
Yes. So let's just jump on into this story and we'll discuss after. And here we go. Have any of you listeners lived the life of luxury? Maybe you were born into a family of old money, inheriting a live-in waitstaff,
Yes, ma'am.
and having every meal served to you in courses. Maybe you racked up an obscene amount of debt just to have one vacation that made you feel fancy for a week.
Order what you want. I'll just donate along after we get home.
Or maybe you came across an even luckier set of circumstances and won a free, all-expenses-paid trip somewhere. It felt awesome, didn't it? I'm only asking because I'm curious. I've never lived a life of luxury. I just recently went to a hotel that had a bar downstairs and a shower with glass doors. To me, I felt like the belle of the ball. I remember stepping to the shower and thinking, look at me. I'm Audrey Hepburn. That was when I knew I had made it. Lately, I've been consuming different entertainment that revolves around lifestyles of the rich. Both seasons of the HBO show White Lotus has really sucked me into the drama and social levels of the wealthy, while recently seeing the movie The Menu gave me a very fun, tongue-in-cheek satire about their lives. They make it look so fun, and yet so terrible at the same time. On one hand, these people get to go and enjoy anything they want. It's like when I would play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas as a kid. If I wanted infinite money, I would just push the code R1, R2, L1, X, left down, right up, left down, right up. After that, all of my problems would be solved. I could truly do what I wanted and live in the moment because there was nothing I couldn't afford, and there were no consequences for spending too much.
I'll just buy another one. Money doesn't matter.
Unfortunately, for the poor rich people I'm talking about, our dream is their struggle. They don't have to ration their money and hope that they use their budget on making the correct choice. They can do it all and have it all. But because they didn't struggle for it, they don't fully appreciate what they have. Eventually, they all find themselves sipping imported champagne from the tomb of King Tut while sitting on their yacht just off the coast of the Ionian Sea and thinking to themselves, is this it? No matter how many shiny and expensive items or trips they get, they are always looking forward to the next big thing. No one-of-a-kind experience or breathtaking view moves them, quite like a glass shower door in a 4-star hotel moves me. Those poor, professionally curated and custom-designed rich people. Today's tale will show you another person's chance at a life of luxury, and may just teach us all to be careful what we wish for. Daniel was an unhoused Florida man living in St. Petersburg during the summer of 2020. Deep in the thick of the COVID-19 pandemic, there weren't a lot of things he could do to change his situation. The kinds of jobs that he would usually work were either stopped for social distancing or running on limited staff to accommodate for less demand.
Sorry, we're not hiring.
Not only were jobs hard to come by, but the rental market had spiked. Either everyone was fighting to get into a new place, or prices had gone up so much that it was impossible for Daniel to ever afford his own 4 walls. Life, at this time, felt very helpless. Whether it be friends lending a couch for a night or a shelter freeing up a cot, Daniel always found a place to sleep. But every day was a struggle, just to maintain some of his basic human rights. Even though it was a time of stay-at-home and social distance orders, St. Petersburg did not carry the same depressing notions that the news or Daniel's financial woes were living with. This city was still as hopping as ever. With plenty of parks and miles of white sand beaches, everyone still enjoyed life. The high-priced commodities of this vacation destination allowed the people who lived in it enough money to afford a sense of safety from the pandemic running through the country. This was especially apparent for Daniel when he walked past Al Lang Stadium, the home of the local professional soccer team, the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Just across from the Hilton Hotel sets this brightly lit spectacle for sports watching. Although sporting events had recently been seized for social distancing, it didn't stop this beautiful stadium from being used for private events and generally just lighting up the street, almost as if the structure itself was saying, "Hello, I'm better than you. Appreciate me." Every time Daniel would make his way through the city, there the stadium was, just mocking him. It had become a symbol of privilege and wealth, like a rich person driving a flashy car through a struggling neighborhood. Everyone in its presence couldn't help but have their attention drawn to it. And just like the rich person, the stadium was empty. Day after day, Daniel would walk past and see tourists taking photos of the stadium, only to pass by again at the end of the night and be blinded by its bright spotlights.
Oh, fuck, that's bright.
Until one day changed everything. Walking by the stadium, as he usually did, Daniel noticed some strange activity going on near one of the rear entrances. He decided to walk slowly and keep a close look out the corner of his eye. As he rounded the corner, the sight of a white van began to become more visible. The logo was in a font that was a bit difficult for him to read, but one word was very easy to spot: cleaners. Even if there was no logo, the fact that workers were carrying vacuum cleaners and brooms in and out would have given it away. The van was parked near a door that was propped open with a bucket. Daniel snuck a little closer as he watched workers go in and out freely. "This could be my chance," Daniel said to himself. "I could finally see how the other half live. Just for a minute. I'll sneak in and just breathe in some of that privileged air that these business execs and CEOs get to enjoy on the daily." And just like that, Daniel snuck around the white van and made his way into the stadium. As he made his way down the dark hallway, he was stopped. "Hey, you!" A voice sounded from behind him. The blood drained from Daniel's ass like a bathtub that just recently got treated with Drano. Yes?" Daniel said with a meek stutter. A man in a cleaning uniform approached Daniel. "You must be the new guy. Go grab a tiny sponge and hand scrub the luxury suite's toilet. I've got direct orders from the big man himself that if luxury customers can't see 3 sparkles on the toilet seat before they take a duty, he's going to flush our contract along with the customer's lavish dump." Daniel made it clear to the man that he was understood
Yes, sir.
as he made his way towards the luxury suites. Opening the door to the luxury suite, Daniel was completely blown away. He had never seen fancy versions of regular items like this before. Silverware made of sterling silver, a gold-plated microwave, and even an extremely soft couch that Daniel swore had to have been made from the fur of an endangered animal. Even the door he opened didn't creak like doors used to. The sound of the hinges moving made a sound that could only be described as magical. The life of luxury was even better than he imagined. He didn't want to leave. He wanted to live there. And just then is when Daniel got the best idea. "No one's really going to use this," he thought to himself. "Leave it to the rich people to have nice things that aren't even being used. I think I could make this work." As Daniel continued speaking to himself, he heard the boss walking up the hallway speaking to another worker.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm your boss.
Without hesitation, Daniel hit the lights and hid in the closet. The magic door opened up as the boss man peeked his head in. "Looks like the new guy got it taken care of. Let's move on with our inspection." The next thing Daniel heard was the sound of the luxury door latching. At that moment, he knew he had made it. He felt like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone when he realized he had the house to himself. Woohoo! Daniel cheered as he ran to the endangered animal couch and began jumping on it. "This is the best day of my life!" For the rest of the day, Daniel did all the things he had only dreamt of. He used an entire bottle of hand soap to wash his hair. He made music by pressing numbers on the gold-plated microwave. And he even fell asleep with the TV on, like most Americans do. The next day, Daniel woke up feeling like a king. Waking up in this sports-based palace was a dream that Daniel couldn't have even afforded to dream. With the cleaning company long gone, he decided to explore his new home. He walked down the long concrete hall until he came across the concession stand. "What magic awaits me here?" he thought to himself as he opened the door. Again, Daniel couldn't believe his eyes. Wall-to-wall hot dogs, nachos, and weird plastic bags of fake condiment-like cheese sauce was all he could see.
Holy shit.
He quickly prepared himself a royal feast for breakfast, along with 2 beers on the side. Once he was good and full, Daniel continued on down the hallway. As he rounded the next corner, he came across another room labeled merchandise. He could hear the royal trumpets in his head as he gazed upon his personal tailor. "Prepare the royal garb," he proclaimed to himself, just before going on his own personal shopping spree. Later, out of the merchandise door, emerged a brand new Daniel, equipped with a full belly, head-to-toe Rowdy's gear, and the smile of a luxurious man. Time continued on. Daniel's day-to-day consisted of concession stand feasts, long walks around the bleachers for exercise, and watching TV on the multiple screens in his suite.
Up next in sports, hitting basketball.
Anytime he felt that his clothes were dirty, he just went to the merchandise shop and picked out a new outfit of licensed Rowdy's gear. He continued this lifestyle for nearly 2 weeks. Until one day, while Daniel was taking one of his walks around his royal Rowdy's kingdom, the cleaning crew returned. A cleaning employee tasked with sprucing up the luxury suites entered Daniel's suite and found the place was a mess.
Heavens to Betsy!
The police were immediately called, where they chased Daniel around the stadium and eventually arrested him.
I regret nothing.
In August of 2020, 39-year-old Daniel Neha snuck into Al Lang Stadium and lived in a luxury suite for nearly 2 weeks. A member of the cleaning crew had entered his luxury suite, finding blankets, used razors, and open shaving cream containers. Authorities were contacted, who later came and caught Daniel. The suite had not been checked on regularly due to limited cleaning activity for the pandemic. It wasn't until stadium security looked into the surveillance footage and discovered the length of Daniel's stay. They also found that he regularly went to the concessions for food and the merchandise store for clothing. Arrest reports state that the value of the clothing taken equaled $1,043, while he also consumed $250 in drinks. Police and news reports do not know exactly how he got into the stadium, but they suspected he snuck in with the cleaning crew. Daniel Neha was arrested on burglary and resisting an officer without violence. He was held in jail on a $5,150 bond. So now you see how the life of luxury can taint even the least privileged of us. The grass may be greener on the other side, but if you're not allowed to be on that grass, you're going to be arrested for trespassing. With capitalism and the American dream, some of us just aren't meant to live in the upper echelon of wealth and fabulous experiences. So take it from Daniel Neha and me. Try to live the richest within your means, even if it means that a sliding glass shower door is the nicest thing your ass will ever see.
I gotta say, I can't be mad at the guy.
I can't either.
Truly, we have talked about a lot of criminals, and even though their crimes may be on the smaller scale, sometimes they do affect and hurt people.
Yes.
Yes. Did he use a bunch of the merch and eat a bunch of the food, which then, took profits away from the stadium? That doesn't really upset me that much, though.
No, it's a big business and they can handle it.
And honestly, when you said the year and the month that it was August 2020, I was reflecting back on that time and I was like, how freaking sweet would it have been? Because I remember that time. It was like, we've all been in lockdown, highs and lows. We still don't really know what's going on. A lot of people weren't able to find a job, or a lot of people were scared to go to their jobs, and there was just a lot of chaos going on.
Right.
And so, hell yeah. Would I want to spend weeks living in a luxury suite with all the food and beer? Now, of course, it's just limited to concession stand food, but I would have taken it.
Yeah, go for it. Who cares?
Oh my God. So did you say if he served jail time at all?
They just said he was held on a bond. I could never find a follow-up on what they ended
Yeah.
up charging him with. I mean, the trespassing, but I couldn't figure out what the full punishment was going to be for that one.
It's hard to find them sometimes with these stories.
When you're a homeless guy, I just can't imagine they're going to do much to you.
Yeah, I know. Well, do you expect the guy to pay a fine? If he's not finding work, how's that going to happen, you know?
Right.
I don't know. There's just nothing I can really be mad about this situation. Honestly, it was kind of fun hearing the story and just living through him a little bit.
Yeah, he had kind of a weak voice, and then by the end, he was speaking like a king.
Yeah.
It really got to his head a little bit.
I loved that. I love that progression of his character.
It happened so fast.
Do they have a mugshot of him at all? Did you see? I'm so curious.
I think they did. I'm pretty sure they did, yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I want to see him. But I also think how creative it was. I don't have a washer and dryer. Just going to head on down to the merch store.
Yeah, just keep wearing the sports gear, which they said it was, what I say, it was like 1,000 something.
Right.
As expensive as that shit is at stadiums, that could have just been 2 shirts.
Totally. I know. And when you said the price of how much he spent on drinks, I was like, for 2 weeks straight, that really isn't that bad.
No. And that's what and the weird thing is they only said how much he spent on drinks and not food.
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know what was up with that.
I don't know. I feel like there's maybe something they're trying to hide. I don't know. Maybe they're like, we don't want people to know how much our hot dogs cost. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably better to just take their word for it, because if they admit how much they pay for it, it's like, oh, we actually just took $10.
Exactly. And then at that point, it's like, dude, just let the guy live.
Yeah.
Just let him on his way. You can't stay here anymore. Fine, whatever. But
I was thinking the pandemic really did a lot for people in our line of work. Petty crimes, so many, looking back in the almost 100 episodes we've done.
yeah.
So many petty crimes were done around the pandemic or were enabled because of the pandemic. Yeah, I would say at least once every 5 episodes, one of us does something that has to touch the pandemic in some way.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that people were just kind of like, well, screw it. The world is going crazy, you know? I mean, how many people were like selling everything I own, getting a van, driving around? You heard about a lot of people just totally switching up their lifestyles or just making these big changes or crazy moves. And can't really blame people. It was kind of chaotic.
Right.
Who knows what I would have done if I didn't have a kid, you know? I kind of just was focused on cocooning inside our home. But for all these people out here, because I was like, yeah, he must not have any real big responsibility he has to worry about if he doesn't have a job. And you said he was an unhoused person, right? So I don't know. I guess he's just like, I'm just going to live it up. And I can't blame him for that.
Yeah, you can make a very quick decision. Like, I guess I'll just stay here for 2 weeks. Like, what am I missing out on? Like, what's
Exactly.
It's not like nobody's going to feed my cat.
Right. Exactly. Wow, that was a very unique story. It's totally different, but it kind of reminded me of the story you told so long ago when the guy lived, it was like an abandoned
He quarantined
Disneyland.
in Disney.
Yes.
The island. Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
I mean, totally different. Obviously, the locations and everything. Like the abandoned island was way creepier, and this one was way more luxurious and comfortable, I'm sure. But yeah, a lot of people were just like, I think I'm just going to go explore places I normally wouldn't.
Yeah, don't know how much time I got, and also everything's just changing, so why not just go with the flow?
Yeah, man, we really missed our mark on that. We should have just gone and explored abandoned islands and luxury suites all over the damn place.
Well, for me, my problem was I was able to work from home, and I was just like, oh, baby, I love being a homebody. So I was living my best life.
That's true. I also got to work from home for a little while too. And I really just soaked that time in.
I got so much recharging done.
Yeah.
I actually got to points where I was like, I want to go out with friends.
Yeah.
Because I don't normally really want to. I'm just like, I probably should do this to maintain relationships. But I do really enjoy sitting and staring at my same wall every day.
See, I'm the opposite. I really love doing social things, but the timing worked out well for me during the pandemic because I only had Lila at that time and she was like 2 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of really wasn't as social as I used to, but man, it made me really want to get back out there after a while. I enjoyed the time at home and I really got to focus on her, which was really great. But yeah, after a while, I was like, I kind of miss doing things.
Yeah, it made me realize how bad I want to work from home just full time because
my God.
I'm a fine talker and whatnot, but I sometimes just need to, like you said, cocoon up and kind of recharge. But I waste too much of my social power on work and work conversations. So then when I hit weekends, I don't always want to do something. And that's not fair to my friends. I should be able to use that on my friends and not have to use it on work.
I concur. Maybe one day. My dream is that you can just work from home, doing whatever, music and producing and podcasting stuff you want one day. And then you will be really living it up.
I mean, we already manifested it earlier, so it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
It will happen this year.
So much money is going to rain on our heads that we're just not even going to know what to do.
I don't know either. But you're all going to be invited to that audio party when it happens.
Wow. Well, I love that story. Great job. Connections. Obviously, they're pretty different.
Very.
But I will say that both of our main petty criminals kind of got to peek into another side of life that they didn't know kind of existed before.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, mine was more of a paranormal thing. Your guy was more of a luxury thing. And some would say that my guy never actually did experience a different life, that he was just hammered as shit. So, I don't know. Could you think of any other connections that I'm not thinking of?
They were also drawn to commit their crimes by bright lights, apparently. Because your guy said he saw the spaceship light. My guy was, the giant spotlights of the stadium.
Ooh.
Blinded by the light, drawn by the light, something.
Okay, I love that connection so much. Oh my God, like a moth to a flame.
Yes.
They were like, commit a petty crime. And they were like, okay, I love it. Ooh, good one.
Thank you.
Never would have even thought of that, but I love it. Well, I hope that everyone out there is having a fantastic week. And just remember that no matter the crime, big or small, in the end, we're all doomed.
Doomed to follow the light and follow our dreams.
Bye.
See ya.
Hello to all the Otter fans out there. So sorry for those depressing facts, and we hope you enjoyed our show.
And if you're covered with a lot of hair, follow us on social media and tell us about it. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Live, Laugh, Larceny.
And if you have ever had your body filled with alcohol by extraterrestrials, send us your petty crime story. livelaughlarceny@gmail.com.
And review us wherever you review shows. Apple, Spotify, Good Pods. And review us the same way I would review that glass shower door. 5 stars across the board. As he rounded the corner, the sight of a white van began... I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry. You've got this. You really do.
As he rounded the corner, the sight of a white van began to become very... What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. As he rounded the corner, the sight of a white van began to become... There's not even a joke coming up. I just can't talk.
The white van began. I get it. It's tough.
Yeah.